Join me as I spend a whole night in my creepy basement, and let's see if I can survive the scares lurking in the dark. Spending a night in the basement can be a pretty unsettling experience. I mean, it's dark, it's isolated, and there are just so many unknowns. What if something's down here with me? What if I get stuck or lost? These are the kinds of thoughts that'll keep you up all night, or in my case, all night and then some. One of my biggest fears is the darkness. I know it sounds irrational, but there's just something about not being able to see around you that makes you feel vulnerable. And then there are the noises, the creaks and groans of the old house, the sound of pipes dripping somewhere in the distance. It's like my imagination is running wild, coming up with all sorts of scenarios about what's making those noises. Another fear of mine is being completely alone. I know I'm a grown adult, but there's just something about being by yourself in a confined space that makes you feel like you're not in control. What if something happens and I need help? What if I get hurt or sick? These are the kinds of thoughts that'll keep you up all night, wondering if you're really brave enough to do this. The basement itself is kind of a mystery to me. I've never really spent much time down here, and I don't really know what's down here with me. Are there old boxes and trunks that I can rummage through? Or are there things that I don't want to find? The not knowing is what's really going to get me tonight. As I settle in for the night, I have to admit that I'm feeling a little nervous. I've got my phone with me, and I've set up a few cameras just in case something weird happens. But despite all my preparations, I'm still feeling a little on edge. I mean, what if something really does happen? The first few hours are pretty uneventful, but I'm still on high alert. I'm listening for any strange noises, watching for any movement out of the corner of my eye. And then, I start to hear some weird creaks and groans. At first, I think it's just the house settling, but then I realize that the noises are coming from right next to me. I try to stay calm, but it's hard not to let my imagination run wild. I start to think about all the worst-case scenarios. What if someone's down here with me? What if I'm not alone? I know it's irrational, but it's hard to shake the feeling that something's off. As the night wears on, things start to get really weird. I hear footsteps upstairs, but when I go to investigate, there's no one there. I start to feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm trying to stay focused, but it's getting harder and harder. The most terrifying moment comes when I hear a loud bang coming from the back of the basement. I don't know what it is, but it sounds huge. I grab my flashlight and go to investigate, and what I find is just unsettling. Looking back on the night, I learned a lot about fear and curiosity. I realized that sometimes the things that go bump in the night are just our imaginations running wild. But other times, they're real, and that's what makes them so scary. If you've got your own basement stories, I want to hear them. Share your scariest experiences in the comments below, and let me know if you've got any suggestions for other spooky challenges I can try next.